Good evening, everybody, and Jai Hind. Happy Independence Day to everyone. Those who are here on this discussion, as well as those who are viewing us live on Facebook. The recording of this session will be later made available by Moms Collective and Club Youngistan. My name is Dola Dasgupta. I have been invited by these dear friends of Moms Collective to moderate this session for them. And it's called Celebrating Freedom, Special Journeys of Special Moms. This is the first edition of a series of discussions that we hope to do under the Moms Collective banner, which is also hosted by Club Youngistan. And you might be wondering what's Moms Collective and what's Club Youngistan, for those who don't know. So before I get into that, I would first of all invite our guests here today and to introduce themselves one by one. So it's not going to be a very formal session. So feel free to interrupt if you want to, any of you. And whoever wants to go first, please raise your hand and you can start introducing yourself. When you introduce yourself, I would like you to talk about yourself and your family. Thank you so much. Who's going first? Okay, Joseph, go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you, Dola. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jyotsna. I live in Pune with my family, my husband, 2 daughters, and 2 cats. My younger daughter has a diagnosis of cerebral palsy. I have a lived experience with a disability, so I'm kind of a disability advocate as well. I'm co-founder of Club Youngistan. That's an online learning platform for young adults with challenges. And I also work as an emotional well-being facilitator and therapist. So that's it from me.
Thank you, Josna. Thanks so much. Who is next?
Let me start.
Shraddha?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
yeah,
hi,
go ahead,
everyone.
Shraddha.
Hey, thank you, Rola, for starting this wonderful evening with these special moms. Really elated to be here. Well, I'm a professional juggler and a special mom to a teen boy called Ishan. We live in Delhi, just a family of two. As a single mother, I've actually practically mastered the art of doing 1,000 things at once. So it could be obviously it has to be holding down my career, deciphering Ishan, mysterious love for lining up the toy cars. To be very honest, my life is a mix of sessions, therapy sessions, conference calls, and obviously trying to convince Ishan that maybe socks in fact might come in pairs, so he can wear 2 colors in 2 feet. So that's one. So yes, every day is an adventure. It's full of patience, obviously, and I've learned that it's mandatory to be happy and contented with whatever I have to keep myself sane. So and everything is not ordinary in my life. It's extraordinary. That is what I'll say. Thank you.
Shraddha, I missed the bit. You said you're a professional. I heard juggler. Was I right? Okay.
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
really,
right.
do you really mean juggling? Or
Yes,
do you mean
juggling through a lot
different?
of things. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I thought you're a juggler who juggles, or were you talking about you juggle many hats and many roles?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Wonderful. Because I was going to ask you, please take some apples and oranges and show us some juggling.
I wish.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Who? I think Shubhangi wants to go next because
okay,
she's
I'm
unmuted.
I'm going. It's okay,
Okay, you are
Shubhada?
going.
Yeah.
Okay, Shubhada. Fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, Shubhada Dalewadiker. I also live in Pune with my husband, my daughter Sai, and I'm lucky to have my mother also with me. And I'm basically an MBA and worked as an MBA for some time after Sai's birth. I have gone into special education. I'm trained special educator also. But last few years, I have been running a small art studio with Sai. And basically last few years, I have been supporting her as a mom. So that's what it is right now, last few years, 10, 12 years. Before that, it has been, I have traveled along a lot with Sai. Sai is educated in UK, so I was in UK with her. My husband was studying in US, so I was in US with him. And in here also, I worked in Bangalore, also in Mumbai also. So now we are settled in Pune, and we have our basically support family in Pune. So that's what the current situation is right now. So happy to be here and with all you lovely ladies. Good evening and happy Independence Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes, Shubhangi, over to you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Shubhangi Vaidya. I live and work in Delhi. I'm a university professor by profession, and I've been actively involved in the disability sector through my son, my younger son, Vishu, who's got autism. I'm parent of two sons, one neurotypical and one neurodivergent. I'm so happy to be here with all of you today.
Shubhangi, you might need to adjust your mic because some of your words got swallowed up. Either you need to sit closer to it or something like that.
Okay, is this better?
This is better, yeah. So some things I missed. I heard the bit about you live in Delhi, you're a professor there, and you have two sons. After that, things were not very
Right.
clear.
The older one is neurotypical and the younger one is neurodivergent. He has autism, and I've been actively involved with the autism advocacy sector for the last 20 years.
Thank you so much, Shubhangi. Thank you. What do you teach in college?
You are on
Yeah,
mute,
Shubhangi. Shubhangi, or just unmute yourself, Shubhangi. Yeah. So my question to you is, what do you teach as a professor?
We
Can't hear you.
Shubhangi.
Anyway, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. Try to sort out your mic. And okay. Yeah, Pratima, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Pratima Binge. I am from Pune. I live with my husband, my son, and my furry daughter. She's golden retriever, Maggie. So we are four. And I am co-founder Club Youngistan. And I'm chartered accountant. That I don't want to forget that I'm a chartered accountant. So I always make sure that I say it. But I'm a chartered accountant. I was working and I had my own practice earlier. But now I'm totally dedicated to Club Youngistan. And one more venture I have is Little Box. It is a green gifting venture. So some greenery you can see here also.
What is the, sorry, I didn't catch the name of your
Little
venture.
Box. Little Box.
Little Drops. Okay, great. Wonderful.
Dola.
Yeah, I also want to introduce myself. So, well, I am, I've meandered through life doing many, many things. Started off as a journalist, then after some years gave that up to continue my studies. I also want to remind myself I'm a CS, just like Pratima is a CA. And then did a little bit of a stint in the corporate sector. But then once the children started coming, I felt like I wanted to give more time. And so I took up a teaching job in a school. I was teaching German language. And then when my son was born, I completely quit work because I really wanted to be a full-time mom. There was no such compulsion as such, but I just felt that I wanted to be a full-time mom. And that's when a new journey started for me, which was about homeschooling. So I've homeschooled both my children. They've never been to school, and they are now grown up. And so that is where my entire life went to. That is, I became an advocate for alternate education, homeschooling, unschooling, compassionate parenting, non-coercive parenting. So I've been holding space for a lot of community work in this area. And therefore, that is how I also met Jyotsna. And then I've started to understand more about neurodivergence and disability. We discovered my daughter has dyslexia, dyscalculia, and slight ADHD, and a few other learning disabilities. And so that was a challenge that I had to face. And I've been a single mother for the last 12, 13 years now with the two kids. And I love moderating sessions. That's one reason I think Jyotsna told me to do this. She's been a dear, dear friend of mine for some years now. And her daughter and my son are drum buddies. They play drums together. So that's a little bit in a nugget about myself. So, Shubhangi, is your mic working? Can we check and go back to that little question I had for you? So you can do a mic testing. Say Jai Hind. We can't hear you. Oh no, no.
Or you need to call Vishu. He's expert at all these.
Yeah, actually.
Or you could log in from your some other device. Maybe that
No, now I
would
think
be.
she can. You just unmute. Wait, I'll ask you to unmute. This online forum is so beautiful that we all can sit anywhere and see each other, but these glitches can also happen.
Yeah, these technical glitches do happen sometimes, right? Okay. So so do we wait? So do I continue and you can log in from another device? Yeah, okay. So for those who are viewing us on Facebook, Shubhangi has a technical glitch. She'll join us shortly from some other device. In the meantime, I'll continue with this session. And so many of you must be wondering what's Moms Collective. So Jyotsna has already explained briefly what is Club Youngistan. We can get into that later in some other session. But today it's about the moms. So I like to focus on the moms. So therefore, I'd like to ask what is the intention with which Moms Collective was created? So whoever feels like responding to that question, I think Pratima,
I would,
yeah,
I would like.
right.
So Moms Collective is not new. We started it with Club Youngistan, and we used to meet monthly, and we used to do some Antakshari sessions. Sometimes we used to do some mandala doing that. I think Shubda facilitated that session. So those kind of session, mindfulness, yoga, all that used to happen. This format we are doing is for the first time. And through this format, actually, we want to reach out to many people. And many people means special mom also, and other people also, to get like to spread awareness through these curated topics. And maybe we are 5 moms have joined, maybe other moms would also join later. So I would invite whoever is watching, maybe they want to join in, they can also contact us. And yeah, the other thing actually why we want to do this is also me and Jyotsna always been on the backstage. We have never been like in public. So we wanted to be public. So Jyotsna and I like wanted to be like seen to be by people. So we wanted to be here and talking. So that's why also. And also I would like to tell here that maybe we'll have English and Hindi, English kind of a thing, so that we can reach out more people. So yeah, that is the main thing for Moms Collective.
Great. So, what I understand is Moms Collective is a place for the moms to party,
Yes.
right? And we can party in goofy ways, like really do a lot of masti. We can also sometimes be serious, knowing very well that others will make us non-serious very soon. So, so it's a goofy come slightly serious place, but more goofy.
Yeah.
So that's great. Thank you, Pratima, for answering that. So now another question. In fact, when I posted this program on various forums, तो मेरे पास एक दो messages आए, which is I guess comes from not being fully informed and educated. And I'm serious about this because I did get a few messages and किसी ने लिखा कि हम सभी special mom हैं, तो फिर ये special moms का अलग से क्या? तो मैंने ऑफ कोर्स उनको समझाया कि क्या है, पर मुझे लगता है कई बार लोगों को इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं होता है, प्रॉपर टर्म्स एंड टर्मिनोलॉजीज, एंड इनोसेंट सा ही सवाल होता है. कई बार हम गुस्सा हो जाते हैं कि ऐसे कैसे सवाल पूछ लिया, कुछ पता नहीं. सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू क्लैरिफाई दैट, क्योंकि बहुत ऐसे लोग सुन रहे होंगे जिनको शायद ऐसे टर्मिनोलॉजीज का आइडिया नहीं है. तो इफ यू एनी ऑफ यू वुड लाइक टू एक्सप्लेन what is or who is, sorry, a special mom or a special parent?
I can share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially,
Actually, I can have one or two responses also. That's okay. Yeah, just go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So essentially, a parent of a child who has a medical diagnosis that needs extended care. So I think it's about physical needs, learning needs. It's quite diverse. And I'm glad you asked that because also, I've always felt that the word special is a label, and it kind of elevates me to a place that I didn't know existed, or maybe I didn't even want to go there in the first place. So I've always questioned that particular thing, but I'm glad I could spell it out here. It's essentially for a diagnosis that needs extended care. It goes on covering different kinds of needs that are diverse and depending on the disabilities as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Shubhangi.
I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we can. Thank God. Yes.
तो ये जो टर्म स्पेशल है, ये मुझे भी थोड़ा सा अटपटा लगता है, क्योंकि मैं हमेशा अपने आप को आइडेंटिफाई करती हूँ पेरेंट या एक मदर ऑफ अ पर्सन विद ऑटिज्म और एन ऑटिस्टिक पर्सन. सो ये जो मतलब द टर्म स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन अक्सर एक जो यूज में होता है, वो जनरली एक आम बोलचाली में यूज होता है, लेकिन स्पेसिफिकली हम वी आर पेरेंट्स ऑफ पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज. तो मतलब उस मॉनिकर से या उस टर्म से मैं अपने आप को आइडेंटिफाई करती हूँ.
Well,
Thank
this
you.
was
Thank
more
you,
of a
Shubhangi.
technical, relevance to what special mom mean. मेरा concept बिल्कुल different है. While yes, Ishan is autistic, so since I'm a mother of Ishan, I become a special mom by virtue of it. मुझे लगता है कि special mom वो mom होती है जो एक improvised show में बैठती है, जिसको पता नहीं होता है very next moment क्या होने वाला है उसके साथ. It's like expecting the unexpected. Obviously, we become expert in decoding the special language of our children, जो कि हो सकता है एक अदर मदर जो कि एक मदर टू अ नॉर्मल किड है शायद ना कर पाए या बहुत छोटी उम्र पे करे, बट हम उसे पूरी जिंदगी करते हैं, बिकॉज एज एन ऑटिस्टिक टीनेजर माय सन स्टिल कांट converse appropriately with the people around. He cannot make friends. He says in a jumbled kind of a sentence. You just have to make a proper sentence, understand, and then cater to his needs or whatever he's asking. So that's what we become experts at. I guess all of you. So in a sense, हम therapists भी होते हैं, हम शेफ भी बन जाते हैं, क्योंकि सडनली कुछ खिलाना होता है, उन्हें ऐसा खिलाना होता है जो उनका ADHD ना बढ़ाए. हम बहुत बेहतरीन डिटेक्टिव्स भी बन जाते हैं, क्योंकि हमें ढूंढते रहना पड़ता है कौन से एंगल में क्या गड़बड़ी करी है उन्होंने और हम उसको कैसे ठीक कर सकते हैं. बट ये सब हमें काम रहते हुए करना पड़ता है, बहुत कामनेस और पेशेंस की जरूरत होती है. अंदर यू मस्ट बी स्क्रीमिंग, आप बहुत चीख रहे होगे, चिल्ला रहे होगे, बट आउटसाइड यू शुड शो द वर्ल्ड दैट नथिंग इज बैड, एवरीथिंग इज ओके, सब ठीक चल रहा है. सो दुनिया जाए भाड़ में, आप हंस रहे हो अपने कियोस पे. सो दैट इज हाउ आई टर्न अ स्पेशल मॉम एज, एंड टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट आई एम प्राउड अबाउट इट. अब तो 16 साल हो गए हैं करते करते, तो मेरे ख्याल से प्रो चैंपियंस बन गए हम सारे के सारे.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Subhada, you want to
Yeah.
add to that? Yes.
Yeah, yes, I agree with all of you. It's just that special mom for me is I think it's a privilege that I have got to raise my daughter. My Sai was diagnosed with the Down syndrome at her as soon as she was born, like that is the diagnosis. But since the life journey has been, of course, with struggle, and there has been finding answers and finding paths. Like what I would like to say is that for all of us, it's true that we don't have really anything to like we are all the time finding our way out for education, for entertainment, even for sports for our children, because there is nothing spelled out.
Yeah.
That like for a neurotypical, you go to this school, this after this, what there is a system, isn't it? There is a system. We don't
Yes.
have anything like that. Now things are
Yeah.
coming up, and this is our Club Youngistan is a part of that. But as you begin as a young mother, so much of your energy goes into finding resources for yourself and your little one, right? And then, of course, as Josna said, the therapies and all that part of it. And of course, we are trying to keep our family together in all of these things. And plus the responsibility of making, like now, my Sai is grown up. So sometimes I feel I'm making choices for her. I mean, isn't it an added responsibility, isn't it? If it is a neurotypical girl, I won't be making choices for her.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
will be telling her or consulting her, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But now I'm making choice for her. Like when I shifted to UK, right? She was just 10 years old. And that time also I made that choice for her. And she didn't
Right.
say anything. But when she went into that school, that was a normal school, that I had to enroll her into a normal school because she wasn't allowed in a special school because she had a motor ability and she had a speech. So they said she has to go to the normal school. And that time it struck me, she went into the huge school where she was the only single disabled girl, right? And I was sitting outside that school on the bench thinking, did I make a right choice for her to
Yeah.
come here and send her to this school? And
Yeah.
yeah, so these moments we face often.
Yeah.
And that is
Yes.
a
Yes.
rare thing that makes us special.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I feel that it's very, very vital to be able to use these terms now, so that we are very, very clear what we are talking about, especially because there is still so little awareness, knowledge, and empathy for disabilities and neurodivergence. And I myself have come into this quite late, actually, in that sense, in my life. And I'm educating myself a lot about using the right terms. And I've seen with my daughter that when we got the diagnosis for learning disabilities and dyslexia and all that, in some ways it really freed her up and me as well, because now we had a certain awareness and a certain understanding of what was happening, without feeling shame, without feeling guilt, without feeling that I'm less or you're less and I'm no good and I can't be better than others. And so suddenly it was like a huge therapy. Just getting the diagnosis itself was very therapeutic, and it was like a leap that we both felt. It was very, very freeing. So I'm all for terminologies and labels and names, which actually, in some ways, we might think it boxes us, but I have started to feel it unboxes us and frees us up. So I'm a big advocate for this. And whoever says, oh, everyone is special, mom, then I'm a little bit very direct and I just give them, no, that's not how it is. This is how it is. And I don't feel bad about it. It's great. So thank you, all of you, for contributing to that query. I'm sure our listeners are getting informed, and it is going to also, in some ways, probably push them to go and do a little bit more research and studies. So my coming to freedom, because that's what we are here to do, which is celebrating. And so therefore, my next question to all of you is freedom, right? It's often a very uh, what you call highly loaded word. It means so much and so many different things for different people. Um, for the ordinary, it means something. For the politician, it means something else. For activists, it means something else. For the marginalized, it feels something else. Uh, but for special moms, I'm sure freedom has a very unique meaning in that sense. So a word that means many things and different things for different people. Also, I think freedom has takes on a different meaning at different stages of our lives. You know, when we are young teenagers, it means something else. When we are in 20 something, 30 something, it's something else. And then we start reaching middle ages and it starts to take another meaning. And of course, when we have children with special needs, again, it's a real journey. You know, this whole freedom thing is a journey. So what does freedom mean to each of you in your current phase of life? I think uh, you can maybe juxtapose it to your past, like recent past or very way past. But really speaking, in the present moment, today, at this phase of your life, what does it really mean to you? Or what is the value of it? So whoever wants to start responding, you can just say, okay, it's me, and then you can raise your hand.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, Pratham.
As this topic is chosen by me, so maybe.
Sure. Yes, of course.
Also today, Independence Day, that's why we chose this topic to go for this webinar. So freedom for me is actually to steal the time from whatever chaos happening. तो थोड़ा सा अपने लिए टाइम निकालना दिन में कभी भी, जब भी ऐसा लगे कि हाँ अभी मैं ये टाइम निकाल सकती हूँ, I'll just take that time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. Morning yoga time or chai time. तो उतना टाइम निकाल के I sit in my balcony, relaxing, sipping my tea and doing some or reading something or playing wordle, nerdle. So ये मुझे लगता है कि छोटे छोटे दिन में से छोटे छोटे जो अगर मैं टाइम निकाल सकती हूँ तो वो मेरे लिए फ्रीडम है. और बड़े फ्रीडम मिलते हैं with the family support. So recently I went to a solo trip to Bhutan. तो ऐसे भी टाइम मिलते हैं thanks to my family, my husband. So ये सब. So this is in nutshell freedom for me. I'll hand over to you. Anyone else who wants to add on?
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
Well, I resonate what Pratima is saying. Having that freedom of maybe a whole 5 minutes to yourself, wherein you're just pampering or maybe doing something that keeps you sane is actually freedom. To add on, बहुत सारी चीजें होते हैं, जैसे with autism, the biggest thing is they can't sit quiet, obviously with ADHD. So अगर आप फोन पे बात कर रहे हो, so then only they will have the maximum issues. They'll feel hungry. They'll have 100 questions. Otherwise, it's all Shanti in the house. He has TV to himself. I have my phone. So we have separate boundaries. आराम से रहते हैं. But जब मैं फोन पे किसी से बात कर रही हूँ, तो that's when Ishan has the most of the questions that land up at that time. So maybe मेरे लिए freedom वो 5 मिनट अपने फ्रेंड से पूरा बात करना, या अपनी मम्मी से बात करना, या अपनी फैमिली मेंबर से बात करना is also a very big freedom for me, you know, and I feel really happy कि at least आज मैंने बात करी है, because उसी टाइम चीखना, चिल्लाना, shouting या कुछ भी ऐसा होगा जो which will just take away your happiness. Also to add on, मेरे ख्याल से वो छोटे छोटे moments जब सब शांत रहता है, या you know आपका बच्चा खुश रहता है, या आप breathe कर सकते हो, is freedom for me. It's like a lottery one for 5 minutes. So मेरे लिए वो freedom होता है ज़्यादातर.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, Shubhangi.
Yeah. So just want to say that throughout my life, मैंने जिंदगी भर वही किया है जो मैं करना चाहती हूँ। मैंने कभी, मेरे ऊपर कभी किसी की पाबंदी नहीं रही, किसी का एक तरह से एक्सटर्नल कंट्रोल नहीं रहा। मैंने वो हर चीज करी है जो मैं करना चाहती हूँ। तो आई थिंक टू दैट एक्सटेंट मैंने पूरी तरह से अपना फ्रीडम छीना है या पाया है या लिव किया है। और जब मेरे दोनों बच्चे बड़े हो रहे थे, आई एम ऑल्सो अ सिंगल पेरेंट, दे लॉस्ट देयर फादर व्हेन दे वर वेरी लिटिल। तो वो जो जर्नी हम तीनों की थी, वो भी एक बहुत ही मस्त जर्नी थी। मतलब दो बहुत ही डिफरेंट, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बच्चों की बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग डेवलपमेंटल ट्रैजेक्टरी देखना, वो भी बहुत ही मजेदार था। मतलब मैं ऑनेस्टली कह सकती हूँ कि उन दोनों के साथ समय गुजारना, इतने साल गुजारना, मेरे लिए सबसे एक तरह से एक लिबरेटिंग एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, क्योंकि मैंने दो बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग इंसानों को अपने सामने बढ़ते, पनपते, डेवलप करते हुए देखा है। और साथ साथ मुझे जो करना था, जो मेरी इच्छाएं थी, जो मेरे एम्बिशंस थे, उन सबको भी मैं कर सकी हूँ काफी हद तक। तो आई थिंक फ्रीडम इज समथिंग विच आई हैव लिव्ड, आई थिंक आई हैव lived my life to the utmost that I could, and इसका एक बहुत बड़ा श्रेय है कि मेरी जो पढ़ाई है, मेरा जो एजुकेशन है, वो एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चीज रही है। तो आई थिंक जो छोटे छोटे जो फ्रीडम्स होते हैं, एक बैठ के एक कप चाय पीना, एक अपने खुद को पैम्पर करना, go for a mani pedi which I haven't gone for the last 25 years, confess, वो सारी चीजें हैं। आई थिंक those are things हर मतलब प्रोफेशनल या हर माँ के साथ होती ही है। I think whether you have a special needs child or whether you have you have typically developing children, I think the journey or the एक माँ की जो दिनचर्या होती है, खासतौर पे जब बच्चे छोटे होते हैं, वो इतनी अधिक बिजी होती है कि बाद में जब वो बड़े होते हैं, you can sigh of relief, तब you do miss also, you miss somebody yelling for, I'm hungry, give me some more rotis, or I want this, I want that. So when you get a lot of freedom also, you remember the days when you need for just this. So it's something जो मतलब जिंदगी चलती रहती है।
शुभांगी, आपसे पहले जो सवाल पूछा था, बिफोर योर माइक वाज मैल फंक्शनिंग, आपने कहा प्रोफेसर हैं, तो आप क्या पढ़ाती हैं? आप क्या स्पेशलिटी
मैं
स्पेशलिस्ट?
एक्चुअली इंदिरा गांधी नेशनल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाती हूँ। हमारी जो फैकल्टी है, इट्स कॉल्ड द फैकल्टी ऑफ इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी एंड ट्रांसडिसिप्लिनरी स्टडीज, जहाँ पे हम बहुत सारे इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी प्रोग्राम्स डेवलप करते हैं। और मेरी जो विशेषता है, मेरी जो प्रोफेशनल मतलब जो रिसर्च इंटरेस्ट है, वो जेंडर और डिसेबिलिटी स्टडीज में मैंने काम किया है। और ऑटिज्म के बारे में, ऑटिज्म और फैमिली के बारे में मैंने पीएचडी किया है और काफी लिखा भी है, general articles also and research articles also. So that's my background.
Interesting. Thank you. Incidentally, my son would be soon joining IGNU, so we will be seeing what subjects he will take finally when he joins it. Nice to know you're in IGNU. Great. Thank you so much. Yes, Shubhada, next, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dola. We were, as we were talking about freedom, as you rightly said, that it means different things at different stages of our life. So I really agree with Shubhangi that it is really our choices. We are free to make our choices all through our life. So whatever I had journey, it has been a wonderful one, and that is a product of my choices. So I'm very happy about that. Whatever choices I've made, they worked up. But although the choices or the freedom comes with the responsibilities, so there are the responsibilities because we have made those choices, and I'm happy about that. And I really agree with her that it has been a wonderful journey, it is really a fulfilling journey. And I used to think, oh, something I cannot do spontaneously like that. But other day only my friend called up and she said, hey, do you want to come and meet? That was like 9:30. And I said, yes. And I really went and did. So I said, now things have come to the stage that if I can just leave, nothing is going to go wrong. So this is something, a personal learning also, that really, yes, we have taken up so much of responsibility, but maybe there is a time to leave it also sometimes, and just to see how things work out, that we are so much used to being there that maybe we should just see not being there, what happens. at least in
Yeah.
my case, and I thought it was all right. It was fine.
Yeah.
And when I was leaving, she was going to her workshop, her art studio. She asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to meet my friend." So she asked me, "Oh, will you be eating there?" I said, "Yes." So will you get me something? Of course, I will. Yes, I will get you. So that's what it. So that, I mean, I always do that. I go out, but that is usually well planned, well
Yeah.
informed, and all logistics worked out. Who is going
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
there? And other day I just
Mm.
did that, and that was such a freedom for me. I felt that, okay, and then I realized that yes, this can be also done. That you can just leave when you want to be and see like that. So it has come to this stage, I feel now, after so many years, and I'm happy about it. I'm very happy about it.
Great.
And what Pratima also says, that is also right, that I also steal a lot of windows. I'm looking for always windows like other moms during the daytime, just to be myself, and even anything to do stupid also, like watch something stupid on the phone or on the movie, or a stand-up comedy, little 10 minutes come. So that is also very fun and relaxes you like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are going to see Shubhada spontaneously taking off to have coffee and
Yeah.
lunch and dinner.
You call me, I'll come.
Great, great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. Yes, Josna.
I think I'm glad Shubhda shared that. I think it's only now that I've reached a stage in my life, and my daughter is 22, where I don't have to worry about her. But I think thanks to being a special mom, the hypervigilance that has crept in right from birth, I think, 9 surgeries, daily therapy, 6 days a week, that I think the first thing that struck me was I need freedom from that hypervigilance, because that's become part of my
Mm.
default pattern. And so much of it is disability relevant. I mean, each disability has its own aspects. And I think the other thing that comes to me is freedom to create my own spaces of leisure. I have to steal a
Yeah.
lot of time to create it. Not that anyone is holding me back. That again comes in as a pattern. And I think for me, coming from a space of cerebral palsy and my own disability of deafness, I think I need the freedom from focusing on the disorder. There are so many
Mm.
labels attached to it, and there are very few that are willing to go beyond those labels. Sometimes it becomes all so serious, and it's a list of labels, there's a list of medical diagnosis, and also the deficit that labels carry. I mean, it's very limiting when it comes to a young adult who's really independent, but she comes with all of these labels behind her. And I
Mm.
think overall, because special needs parenting it's not just exhausting, I think it can be quite complicating also.
Mm.
So I think for me, it would mean all those aspects of that. Yeah,
Mm.
thank you.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I was also thinking as you all were sharing about how uh, some things I think we don't have a choice in that sense. Life just hands it out to us, and then but what we do have after that is the freedom to decide how we want to deal with it and negotiate that. So I think that's the freedom we have. And I've always felt, in fact, I was just discussing this with my partner the other day, that uh, sometimes when I look around life, generally in the world, yes, there is a lot of nice things, joy, happiness, but there's also so much suffering. And there's also suffering in my life. That's okay. So then my partner said, listen, suffering is not going to go away, but you can choose what kind of suffering you want, and you can choose how you want to suffer it. You can suffer it rote rote, or you can suffer it haste haste. So, or sometimes haste haste, sometimes rote rote. It's okay. Find a band of people who can suffer with you and suffer with you. So both, Hindi wala suffer, matlab Hindustani wala suffer, or English wala suffer. So suffer with suffer. So so like that. And then I think जो मैंने देखा है, like Shubhangi, Shubhada, Josna, all of you, Shraddha, Pratima, कि some kind of a switch just got, switched on. Like when I turned 45, and then it wasn't like I was doing something deliberately, but अपने आप कुछ ऐसा हो गया अंदर से कि like Josna said, the dropping of that hypervigilance of life as such, that became very, very important. And usse jo freedom aaya, I think for me, I value that a lot in my life. So thank you for bringing all this lovely nuances to it. So now that from this question itself, I think I would like to move on to my next question, which is many of you have talked about stealing time, समय चोरी करना, अगर हम literally translate करें. So I'm sure that is not the literal translation. Shubhangi will be able to say because she's very good in Hindi. लेकिन मैं से अपने दिन से दिन महीनों साल से अपने लिए तो हम समय निकाल लेते हैं जो थोड़ा बहुत उसको हम stealing of time कहते हैं. So what exactly do you, each of you, do in that sense, really do, you know, in terms of fun, masti, relaxation, nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself? And it could be as simple as what Shubhada said, you know, 10 minute ka ek stand-up comedy dekh liya. ठीक है ना? And she called it stupid. I'm thinking, is it really that? No, I mean, it's not stupid at all. It's wonderful. So I would like to hear from each of you that what are those things that you all do, you know, which is also very stupid and goofy, but it's something that really fulfills you personally, just you meaning Josna, Pratima, Shubhada, Shubhangi, Shraddha, not this mom or not this parent or not this wife or something like that. So if you want to share, whoever wants to go first. Yeah,
Okay.
Pratima, go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, my yoga time morning, it's for me because of my health condition also. I need that time. So that is something that just me for me. So that is there. Then walking Maggie evening is my time with her. So that is also something that I do with her, and I enjoy that walking, chatting with people around and all. So that is something. And when I go, I take Kush to swimming. So I thought, let me also try because I'm just sitting outside the swimming pool and watching him. So I said, let me also try. Then I started doing swimming, learning swimming. And guess what? I am now swimming. So that is also biggest achievement as me myself and not as Kush's mom or anybody else. So that is also a biggest achievement for me. Also the stealing time, those days when I go out solo with some unknown people, that is also something I enjoy a lot myself. And being in nature, I love that, doing that stuff also. So that is something I love and I do for myself. ऑल्सो थोड़ा सा अपना सलून टाइम होता है एवरी मंथ, तो वो भी तो है जो हम अपने लिए करते हैं. सो दैट इज व्हाट फॉर मी. ओवर टू यू.
So Pratima, how did it feel when you really, you know, when you became a swimmer, in the sense that from being a learner to a swimmer, what was the feeling like?
हाँ, अभी स्विमर नहीं हुई हूँ, अभी तो 2-4 दिन से आई एम लाइक ट्राइंग सम लैप्स. आई डिड yesterday I could do 11 laps. So of course that's the achievement. And my coach was standing outside the swimming pool. He was like, ma'am, आप बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो. And then it was like, wow, proud feeling. And I was, by the way, afraid of going into the pool also. Walking in the water, that was also like very this thing for me, but phobia kind of a thing. अभी बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. So now I am like, नहीं, अभी तो इसको कंटिन्यू करना है and I'll go with them and I'll do it.
Next time you'll go scuba diving, हाँ, solo trip पे.
हाँ, वैसे मैंने काफी अतरंगी काम किए हैं, बट अभी मैं
तो बताओ ना थोड़े बहुत अपने अतरंगी वाले, क्या है ये? What is this
I have done
masti and fun all
skydiving.
about that?
I have done
skydiving.
skydiving. प्राग में मैंने स्काई डाइविंग किया है. वो भी मैं सोलो ट्रिप पे ही थी, तभी मैंने किया था. थोड़ा फर्स्ट टाइम था, डर लग रहा था. मैंने मेरे हस्बैंड को बोला, हो सकता है मैं वापस नहीं आऊं, हो सकता है कुछ हो जाए, देख लेना सब कुछ, बट मैं जा रही हूँ. सो दैट इज हाउ आई वेंट एंड डिड दैट. वो भी एक बहुत बड़ा अचीवमेंट, बिकॉज आई केम बैक नो, नीचे लैंड
Yes.
करके अच्छे से, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ, अच्छे से वापस आ गई फुल पीस में.
Hmm.
तो दैट इज ऑल्सो समथिंग दैट अचीवमेंट्स फील. और इनके साथ जब एडवेंचर कैंप वगैरह जाते हैं, वहां पे भी कुछ कुछ चीजें मुझे पर्सनली बहुत फोबिया इन सब चीजों का था, बट करते करते अभी बहुत सारी चीजें मैं करने लगी हूँ. तो दैट इज पर्सनल अचीवमेंट टू मी. फील वेरी प्राउड ऑफ माई सेल्फ.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So from skydiving, next time you're going to be diving into water also. Yeah.
I don't know that as of now, maybe.
Yes, I'm sure. Okay.
हम
So
ना
who
स्पेशल
wants?
को लेकर जिंदगी मिलेगी ना दोबारा बनाएंगे, उसमें
हाँ,
प्रतिमा
करते हैं ना, क्यों नहीं, कर सकते हैं, of course. Let's do it.
Yes. So who wants to share next? Shraddha, since your mic. Ah, Shubhangi, go ahead. Okay.
Go ahead. It's okay, Shraddha, bolo.
No, it's
नहीं नहीं
okay.
प्लीज
Shubhangi will go.
नहीं,
Shraddha will go
after
next.
after hearing such an active sort of profile, मेरे मतलब शौक बहुत ही quiet है comparatively. मैं
Doesn't
बहुत
matter.
पढ़ाकू
Good.
हूँ, मैं पढ़ती
हाँ.
हूँ और I love movies. I'm a crazy movie buff. तो
Yes.
Netflix and Prime are the best things that have ever happened in my life. तो मतलब I can now
Yeah.
see everything that I wanted to. और सबसे ज्यादा मुझे सुकून मिलता है हिंदी फिल्म म्यूजिक से. तो मैं रियली मेरी जिंदगी की पूरी फिलॉसफी मतलब किसी ना किसी गाने में उतरी हुई है, यू नो. राइट फ्रॉम मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, दैट इज लाइक माय थीम सॉन्ग आई फील, यू नो. मतलब वो एक गाना है जिसने मुझे बहुत कुछ दिया है, एक जिंदगी की फिलॉसफी एक तरह से दी है. तो हिंदी फिल्मी गीत और मूवीज और किताबें और बेसिकली दोस्तों के साथ मस्ती करना. आई हैव अ ग्रेट फ्रेंड सर्कल, वी आर ऑल मैड एंड वी एंजॉय आवर मैडनेस टुगेदर, आई मस्ट से.
ये मैडनेस में क्या करते हैं आप, वो भी तो बताइए ना.
अरे वो तो मतलब वो तो
वो
क्या कहते
सीक्रेट है.
हैं, सीक्रेट. वो बताऊंगी तब तो फिर कोई मजा ही नहीं रहा. वी आर क्रेजी, बेसिकली लेट मी से वी आर क्रेजी.
Great, great. Wonderful. Lovely. Yes. Yeah, Netflix, Amazon also has the greatest thing that has happened. Some people might think I'm being a capitalist over here, but that's I I think it's great, and I also am a very big movie fan. I love watching some series and things like that. So, and I also like to repeatedly watch certain things. So then I think that's a great platform where I can do that. Keep repeating, watching things. So thanks. I'll talk about myself more later. So Shraddha, you can go next.
See, for me freedom right now is very simple. मैं ईशान को भेजती हूँ डे केयर, उससे कहती हूँ कि मम्मा को जाना है ऑफिस किसी काम से, एंड फुल डे टू विद मी इन माय हाउस डूइंग व्हाटएवर. आइसक्रीम मंगा के खाती हूँ जो उसको नहीं पता होता है. So doing all the cheat things that I can while he's not there is something which is freedom for me.
ये वाली वीडियो मत दिखाना उसको.
नहीं नहीं, वो सो रहा है थैंकफुली, सुन लेगा तो बस डांडा भी होगा. So that's what I do. Yes, but I lie down the whole day. If I don't want to take a bath, I do not take a bath. Sorry, don't judge me on that. So that's freedom for me. I'm doing what I want. So as when we were young and small, me and my brother, my dad was a businessman, so we used to expect कि Sunday मिलता है, बाहर नहीं ले जाते हैं. He rests. Now I realize कि oh my God, working 5 days. I mean, I work 5 days. He was a businessman. He was practically working 7 days a week. So वो जो टाइम उन्हें रेस्ट का मिलता था, वो घर में लेट के टीवी देख के कुछ अच्छा खा के बिताना पसंद करते थे. And we used to literally crib about the fact that कहीं बाहर ही नहीं ले जाते हैं, छुट्टी का दिन ले नहीं जा रहे. Now I realize that oh my God, I do not want to go out. वो घर में बेड एसी चल रहा है, मस्त आइसक्रीम खा रही हूँ, मतलब जो भी करना चाहती हूँ आई डू. एंड ईशान इज अवेयर दैट मम्मी इज ऑफिस में, शी हैज गॉट सम अर्जेंट मीटिंग. दैट इज व्हाट फ्रीडम टू मी इज.
Very nice. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I know sometimes. So both my children are a lot at home because they're homeschooled, right? They do go out for things, for work, for different gigs and classes, and meet friends and all. But a lot of time they're at home. And my mom is living with me. My partner's at home, who's also kind of retired. And I have a dog. And sometimes I want to, like, I wish, actually, that ऐसे 2 दिन बस मिल जाए महीने में, 2 दिन जब घर में कोई नहीं हो, not even my dog. So अभी तक मिल नहीं, but I'm hoping एक दिन मिलेगा. And then suddenly I feel also very scared to wish that, because I then have to rephrase my wish, and I say it has to be that they are also happily doing what they want to do, and they're all healthy, and they can come back after 2 days. But so I have to rephrase. So so yeah, like Shraddha, I don't know when I had that in my life. It's been a long, long time, long time. I've forgotten how long it has been since I've not had the home completely to myself. I cannot believe it. And I'm just sometimes wish that would be the ultimate freedom for me at this point in time in my life.
You should
Yeah.
come to Delhi and we can take a, book a hotel, stay all alone by ourselves and enjoy.
No,
Have a
so when I tell this to my family, they say, हाँ तो आप जाओ ना कहीं रिजॉर्ट में ये वो. मैंने कहा नहीं, मुझे अपने घर में ही रहना है और तुम लोग जाओ. मुझे अपने घर का कंफर्ट चाहिए अपने आप, on my own. So it's like, anyway. Shubhada, yeah, you are next.
I like to do all with friends, and I have set of friends which are away from Pune and in Pune. So spending time with them has a, very relaxing and it's nice. But as I was thinking, as you people were talking, what's really about me is that Sai's art shop, art studio. I mean, it is strange. I never thought I would be doing this. When we left Bangalore, I knew we wanted to settle down in Pune, and I wanted to do something for Sai over there, which she can do for a prolonged time. But I never thought I'll get so much involved, and I never thought that it would be in this shape what it is right now. And I am the worst person to draw anything or paint anything in my entire household. Family, they all are much better at it than I am. But now, when there was an exhibition, and Sai and myself, we had created one pot, and it was in that exhibition on the table, and some lady came and she bought it, and we both were like, somebody bought what we created, like that. So that joy, I think I like to repeat that, to relive that again and again. And when I am there, and the first idea was to set it up and have it running, and then I won't be spending much time there, but I find myself going there again and again because I enjoy it. And I lose myself. I don't know when the time is, when it is 12:30, 1 o'clock. And there is a lot of innocence because there are few more size friends also come there. So there are 4, 5 of them, and it's so innocent, so innocent. This is a different world. There is nothing in it which is worldly, The I mean, it is true sense very innocence, filled with innocence, that place, and it's very relaxing when you don't have any expectations there. No expectations, nothing, and you're just spending time doing something very creative, and that is very relaxing. So I like that. So I go there every day. So that is thing. And then watching movies is also there, and that I like to do alone.
Yeah.
That I like to do alone. I don't like anybody with me. I don't like things explaining to someone what I'm watching. And
Yeah.
maybe after it is over, I can say that, but I like to do it alone. So that is
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I get
Yeah.
to do that, that is my thing. Yeah. And I do get it sometimes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now you're going to spontaneously go for lunch, dinner,
Yeah.
breakfast.
Yes.
That's a new thing you have added to
New
your
thing. Yes.
list of
That's right.
fun and relaxation.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So, I think the next question that comes to my mind that I would like to understand or know from you all is that, uh, I mean, generally mothers feel a lot of guilt when they're doing things for themselves. That's a very common emotion that mothers go through. I don't know if dads go through it, but then maybe I'll ask dads later. But right now we are here and we are moms, and also I think I wonder if the guilt is a little bit more when you are a special mom. So especially when you are taking out time for yourself, for your own personal space, where you want to do the things that you all really enjoy, where you like Shubhada said, I don't want anyone to watch movies with me. Shubhangi goes out with her friends, with her mad friends, and has mad times. Then Pratima likes to go on solo trips. Shraddha is at home, wants to spend all her time by herself now and then. uh, did you ever feel little bad or guilt? And if you did not, great, wonderful. But if you did, how did you kind of overcome that? Was there some self dialogue that you did, or some rationalization? In what? Because a lot of times I know that moms would like to know that ये कैसे होता है, क्योंकि गिल्ट बहुत रहता है, तो कैसे इसको ओवरकम करते हैं?
I can share
Yes, yes.
quite a, yeah, it's I think I'll go to the part that how I overcame it. I think my body kind of gave me all the signals that I would always rest only when I fell ill. And I think that was for me the time when I figured out that this is not where I need to be going. And it's also that it came with awareness. I also kind of figured out that I think the first 16 years of my daughter's birth was only spent being so, I'd forgotten what personal time and space meant, partly because of the disability and its management. I also forgot that I could choose differently. So I think it's a guilt. I think not even as a special mom, I think most women would carry it, because I was also like that when my older daughter was there. And I don't think fathers may feel the same way, but I think it's, yeah, if I would put myself first, I would definitely feel the pangs of guilt. Not now, but then yes, during the journey of raising, it's like I had to, it was difficult because I had to kind of rediscover that earlier version of who I was before my daughter was born. And I had completely forgotten that. So I think it can get kind of overwhelming unless you, as many have said, unless you make that choice and you realize, how can I navigate around this today? Now it's a lot different, much better with boundaries, able to say, I'm tired, I can't show up today. So I think that it's all part of the journey. Yes, it's common
Yeah.
for most special
Yeah.
moms.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Who wants to add? Pratima? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so initially maybe sometimes it was feeling, अरे कैसे ऐसे कर सकते हैं, कैसे जा सकते हैं, पुश को छोड़ के कैसे जाएं, ये सब चीजें होती थी पहले. आई थिंक ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ये सब केवस चलते रहता है उसके अंदर, मतलब उसमें से वी जस्ट थिंक कि मुझे थोड़ा शांत रहने दो यार, तुम लोग को जो करना है करो, थोड़ा सा मैं अभी शांत हो जाऊं. सो ये एक, आई थिंक इट इज लाइक ज्योत्सना सेड, इट कम्स विद द जर्नी. अवेयरनेस, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस, थोड़ा सा मेडिटेशन करो, कुछ मतलब अपने लिए कुछ करो तो वो स्लोली हो जाता है. पॉजिटिव रहना भी जरूरी होता है. इनिशियली में भी थोड़ा सा उसमें भी ग्लिच होती है कि शायद अरे ऐसा नहीं वैसा नहीं, ये वो बहुत कुछ डायलॉग अपने अपने चलते रहते हैं. बट देन यू फील वन डे कि नहीं, बस अभी इट्स नॉट समथिंग दैट आई एम नॉट डूइंग फॉर देम. और अगर मैं इतना टाइम ले रही हूँ तो मैं, ऐसा नहीं है, उल्टा मैं अपने लिए जो कर रही हूँ उसकी वजह से आई एम फीलिंग बेटर, तो मैं अच्छे से सबको भी दे पाऊंगी और मेरा खुद का भी ख्याल रखूंगी. तो मेरी, अगर मैं बीमार हो गई तो फिर कौन ख्याल रखेगा? तो ये भी एक दिमाग में आता है. देन एट वन पॉइंट इट हैपेंस कि नहीं, ये थोड़ा टाइम मुझे जो निकालना है एंड इट्स अलाउड, और ये मैं कर सकती हूँ. सो ये गिल्ट, आई थिंक स्लोली वी ओवरकम थ्रू दिस गिल्ट.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Who wants to speak? Shubhangi? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. बिल्कुल दुरुस्त बात है कि गिल्ट जो चीज है ये हर इंडियन माँ को, वी आर ट्रेन्ड राइट फ्रॉम बर्थ कि अगर आप अपने लिए कुछ कर रहे हो तो यू हैव टू फील बैड अबाउट इट. दिस इज समथिंग वी आर ऑल सोशलाइज्ड इनटू इट एंड देयर इज नो गेटिंग अवे फ्रॉम इट. बट in my case क्या हुआ था, being a single parent and being a parent of two children, you know, one of whom is neurotypical, मुझे कई बार गिल्ट होता था कि मैं अपने नॉन डिसेबल्ड बच्चे को टाइम नहीं दे रही हूँ. मुझे बहुत, बहुत अफसोस होता था कि द वे आई शुड हैव बीन प्रेजेंट फॉर हिम मैं नहीं हो सकी क्योंकि मैं एक ही थी, प्लस यू नो द डिमांड्स ऑफ और द रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ बोथ चिल्ड्रन वर यू नो वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट. तो ये चीज कहीं ना कहीं मुझे आज तक खलती है कि मैंने अपने बड़े बेटे को वो क्वालिटी टाइम नहीं दिया जो मुझे लगता है कि उसे जरूरत थी. एंड of course, now he's nearly 30 and you know, he's also my dearest friend. We are great friends. So I think we've also traversed a long journey together. But kahin na kahin ye bilkul hi guilt hoti hai. And regarding, you know, doing things for yourself, an incident which happened way back in 2008, where for the first time मैं दोनों बच्चों को छोड़ के एक कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए विदेश गई. और उससे पहले मैं दिल्ली से बाहर कहीं नहीं गई थी. मैं स्ट्रेट अवे, इट्स ऑलवेज our lives, right? So it's not कि दिल्ली से आप you know लखनऊ जा रहे, दिल्ली से सीधे लंदन जा रहे. So मैं दोनों बच्चों को एक हफ्ते के लिए छोड़ के गई थी एक बहुत क्लोज फ्रेंड के पास, and I knew that they would be getting the best quality of care and you know they would be very very safe with her. लेकिन वो डिसीजन लेने में मेरे अंदर जितनी उथल उथल और जितनी गिल्ट मैंने एक्सपीरियंस की, वो इट वाज यू नो, और ऑल दो सिनारियोज की यू नो सड़क पार करते हुए दोनों को कुछ हो जाएगा, फिर मत all those things you love to think the worst, right? And I'm brilliant in thinking the worst, so I'm a genius at that. So I came back and they were neither of them any the worse for wear. And actually that really was a very important thing because for their own learning and for you know their own future in terms of you know having to deal with things on their own and be without me, it was a great learning for them. So in the end, thankfully, everything worked out. No disasters happened, no earthquakes, tornadoes, nothing. And, you know, all three of us were very happy to be back with each other again. So that was one incident. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Yes, Shubhada.
Yeah, nice, Shubhangi. And what Josna said, I totally agree that you get better with it as we travel in our day together. Yes, in the beginning it is there, then you keep telling yourself, yeah, you deserve it, and this is your time, and you know you need it like that. But then you you said you don't stop feeling anything like that, and now so it has come that maybe it's that Sai or they will also enjoy if I'm not there for some time, you know. As I have a personal space, so does she. You know, maybe as I am saying myself that I need this space, she is not saying it, but she also needs that. Right? Sometimes I feel that, like the other day she was making tea and the way she puts the sugar, it sprinkles on the stove. So she's having fun with it, right? Sprinkling the tea. So I said, Sai, it's spilling on. So she looked at me and she said, this is, she didn't say anything, but that look meant this is how I make tea. So I said, okay, you know, so you have to, I mean, so it has come to that now that maybe I am being aware that it is a mutually suitable and mutually comfortable situation at times though.
Yeah.
Probably as she's being an adult now, she doesn't want me in her face all the time, you know.
Yeah.
So I have noticed that if I am keeping away from her for it is later on the communication is better, you know.
Yeah.
Be so that there's no question of guilt now, so it is getting better.
Yeah.
Can
Shubhangi
I
wanted to add. Yeah, please.
Just to what Shubhada says completely resonates because kai baar if you know Vishnu's got a holiday and or rather I have a holiday and Vishnu doesn't, he just looks and says, "Tum yahan kya kar rahi ho?"
Exactly.
I said, "Look, I want to spend time with you." I said, "Tum chali jana, tum office chali jana." So now it's a stage where you know I feel very apologetic for hanging around, whereas they need their own space and their own time.
Yeah. That's wonderful. in a way, right? Yeah. Yes, Shraddha.
I think everyone's boundary is overlapping. So every one of us, whosoever has spoken their thoughts, there are few things that I can pick up from there. So that remains same. Half of the time I don't feel guilt at all, because मुझे लगता है कि अगर मैंने वो छुपा के आइसक्रीम खाई, तो someday I'll treat him in the same week. So मैंने अपनी गिल्ट को खत्म कर दिया, मैंने खाया, मैंने तुम्हें भी खिला दिया, खत्म. The only thing that I'm not able to cope up at times is considering I could have given him more time, as what Shubhangi said. I could have given him more time during his early childhood. Maybe he could have become a different adult what he's right now. But understanding the situation, understanding what we were, going through, it was imperative that I work. And since I was working, he actually became an independent child very soon as compared to the other special kids and his friends around. So in a way, that helps me getting over that guilt, because since I was working, he became independent. Had I been in the house throughout with him, there would have been constant, feeding him or supporting him in every task that he was doing. But now he knows that, I have to go to my sports all alone. So he's got an auto wala. I work, he goes to his sports. He's empowered by virtue of me working. So I'm out of that guilt. So technically मुझे लगता है कि मैं guilty feel करती ही नहीं हूँ. कुछ ऐसा हो जाता है कि वो गिल्ट ओवरकम हो जाती है. तो आज की डेट में लाइक आई एम हैप्पी अबाउट द फैक्ट कि मैं उसके साथ पूरे टाइम नहीं रही. ही इज अ प्रिटी इंडिपेंडेंट चाइल्ड. ही कांट टॉक बट ही कैन डू ऑल हिज वर्क. अपना रेडी हो जाता है, अपना स्कूल चला जाता है, बस स्टॉप से अकेले बस को बोर्ड कर देता है. ऑल्दो आई हैव बीन आफ्टर हिम क्वाइट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू इंश्योर कि आज हम इस कंफर्टेबल स्पेस में हैं. कितनी बार मेट्रो में उसके पीछे पीछे मैं गई हूँ टू नो कि अगर वो अकेले ट्रैवल कर सकता है कि नहीं कर सकता है. So he has been able to, and I guess that is by virtue of me not being able to spend time with him. So yes, I mean, it has worked well for me, so I don't feel guilty at all. I think I've given my best, and maybe I'll continue doing that, till the time I'm
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So I feel that this whole thing of the guilt it's like a it's like a constant dialogue within till it kind of just fades away slowly. But I like the way each of us are like, we have this self dialogue with ourselves. And another thing I have seen that sometimes when I'm not feeling guilty, start feeling guilty about not feeling guilty. That's another funny thing. And then I laugh at myself. I said, God, where is this? Like, I have this can of worms that keep coming out. It's like, I'm not feeling guilty. Am I supposed to feel guilty? Like, that's how, like Shubhangi said, इतना गहरा conditioning है, socializing है इस चीज का कि तुमको guilty feel करना चाहिए. अगर नहीं कर रहे हो तो then feel guilty about that. So it's like really one has to unravel so much around this. So thank you for sharing, each one of you. So Shraddha, Shraddha has mentioned the word independence, and I think today's Independence Day, and so many times I think हम freedom और independence को कई बार एक दूसरे के साथ replace करके भी use करते हैं. पर I don't know about you all, but sometimes I feel they're quite different things in some ways. Like nuances थोड़े अलग हैं दोनों शब्दों के. मेरे one of my friends says कि शब्दों पे मत जाओ, शब्दों के हेर फेर पे मत जाओ. But then we all use languages in some form or the other we communicate. So according to each of you, do you think that freedom and independence are have certain nuances which are different, and if yes, then what according to you they are? See, there are no right and wrong answers, right? This is everything comes from our personal experience, from our lived life. So I would like to hear from each of you around that. Pratima wants to go
Frankly,
first.
Dola, we never have thought this as different, freedom and independence. And now you are asking, so maybe the thinking goes like maybe freedom is that stealing that time in a day. That is something that freedom I have. But I think independence maybe to do it every day. So maybe that is for me. I'm just thinking when you are asking this question, we never thought of like separately this kind of a thing. So yeah.
Hmm.
Well, let me just add on. मेरे हिसाब से freedom, I might be wrong, but मुझे लगता है freedom is something that दोनों काफी they go hand in hand, but there's a very subtle difference, I guess, that's there between them. Freedom मेरे लिए है कि I have a choice, I have options, and I can choose amongst them. इंडिपेंडेंस मेरे लिए वो रहेगा कि मैं उस पे मेरे पास कितनी कैपेबिलिटी है उस फ्रीडम को एक्ट करने की. सो एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं लूं तो मुझे मन करता है कि मैं अपने साथ टाइम स्पेंड करूं, शॉपिंग करूं, बट क्या मैं फाइनेंशियली इतनी स्ट्रांग हूं, इंडिपेंडेंट हूं कि मैं उसे कर पाऊं? सो मेरे लिए ये छोटा सा डिफरेंस है बिटवीन द टू. बट यस, दे गो हैंड इन हैंड. बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है, बहुत माइनर सा डिफरेंस है. That's it.
Thanks. Yes, Shubhada.
I feel independence more of a comes within. That is your ability, as Shraddha said, to navigate through the life or situations. And independence doesn't mean that you're not depending upon anybody. It means that you should know that when to depend on somebody and when to get that help, and asking rightfully that help and getting through the situation. And that is independence for me. And I think it also, we learn it through our life journey. It's not something going through the situations, going through the experiences. I think we learn that independence. So that is the independence for me, that has to come within me, to that confidence, and to deal with the things, how to deal with the things that.
Yeah. I think earlier in one of the pre-session chats, Shubhangi had mentioned about interdependence. So I think that's what Shubhada is also talking about. So Shubhangi, would you like to talk about freedom, independence, and interdependence?
Sure. So actually, independence is a term that we, parents or families of persons with disabilities, हम लोगों को बहुत सुनने को मिलता है कि आपको अपने बच्चे को इंडिपेंडेंट बनाना है, आपका बच्चा इंडिपेंडेंटली कैसे जिएगा, इंडिपेंडेंट लिविंग एक्सेट्रा. तो ये इंडिपेंडेंस इंडिपेंडेंस हम लोग बहुत ये शब्द सुनते हैं, और ये हम लोगों को एक तरह से कॉन्ट्रास्ट किया जाता है कि आपका बच्चा बहुत ही डिपेंडेंट है और आपको उसे इंडिपेंडेंट बनाना है. तो माय सिंपल पॉइंट इज, देखो इंडिपेंडेंट तो कोई भी नहीं है इन दैट सेंस. यू मे बी financially independent, you may be independent in terms of your thinking, you may be independent in terms of your movements, but all of us are also aging, and there is soon going to come a time where we will no longer be as able to do our own things as we think we can do for the rest of our lives. So disability में एक बहुत interesting term है, we are all temporarily able-bodied actually. So it's not that there's one category of people जो disabled है और one category of people जो non-disabled है. हम में से कोई भी किसी भी समय disabled हो सकता है, और इसलिए जो केयर गिविंग और केयर रिसीविंग के बीच में जो एक रिलेशनशिप होता है, ये नहीं कि हम परमानेंटली हम केयर देते ही रहेंगे. एक समय ऐसा आएगा केयर की जरूरत भी होगी, और वो केयर बहुत बार हमारे पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज ही हमको देंगे. Share when COVID was going on, both my son and I, we both got COVID. My older child is away. तो पहले मैं बीमार हुई और मेरे बीमारी के दौरान मेरा पूरा केयर मेरे बेटे ने लिया, माय सन केयर, सब कुछ उसने घर का। और दिस इज व्हाट आई मीन बाय वी आर ऑल एक्चुअली इंटरडिपेंडेंट। तो जब तक लोग अपनी वल्नरेबिलिटी को पहचानेंगे नहीं, और किस तरह से हमें हेल्प सीख करनी है, और वो हेल्प कहाँ से सीख करनी है, किस तरह से एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट करना है। एंड एज स्पेशल पेरेंट्स और एज स्पेशल मॉम्स हमारा भी एक तरह से फर्ज बनता है कि हम दूसरे स्पेशल मॉम्स को भी, जो मे बी हु जस्ट स्टार्टेड देयर जर्नी, हु आर जस्ट डीलिंग विद वेरी वेरी यंग चिल्ड्रन एंड रियली डोंट know about it, we also have in a sense a duty to support them, to bring them up, to really give them the tools, or help them with advice, or help them with practical support in how they can also make their journeys happy and successful journeys. So I think the notion of independence, sometimes I think it's highly overrated. Nobody is completely independent, interdependent. So I think that's my take.
Yeah. Thanks, Shubhangi. That's a very valid point, and very, I think, something that we all need to ponder on. And just to add, before I go to Josna, I think a lot of my psyche was little bit damaged, because since childhood, even though like I was a neurotypical child, right? But I always heard this, that अपने पैरों पे खड़े हो जाओ, अपने पैरों पे नहीं खड़े होंगे तो कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे, be independent. And but with that narrative, this other narrative also did not really get come in as an input, that you cannot be independent in all the areas of life. There will be some areas in which I can be independent, and on some areas I have to depend on somebody else. And there needs to be no shame around the areas where I really can't. So it could be like I don't have the ability, I don't have the knack for it, maybe, or I don't have maybe I don't even have the inkling for that, or whatever. So there might be parts of my character, my personality, which doesn't feel very resonate with some areas of life. And in those areas, I might have to depend on others. I think this was never taught to me, and it created quite a lot of personality disorder, I would say, before I started to heal myself from this. It is some kind of a trauma, actually, I felt. And uh, so I really resonate with you on this, that true independence is when we also understand interdependence. I think that's very important. I'll add something more later. We'll come to Josna first. Josna, yes. Let's hear what you have.
Not very much. I think most of it was covered, but I totally resonate with what Shubhangi said. I think in one line, it's like our journey as special moms is one of healthy interdependence. And, when my daughter was born, there was nothing. I didn't have a smartphone. There was no Google, nothing. And I didn't know what to do. And now there are communities where parents of newly diagnosed kids are not struggling anymore. They know that there is a place to reach out, and they're all in that. It's like, you're co-creating spaces where there is a freedom to access that. I think it's, it's often confused as well. It has its own nuances, but I think in the special moms, in the disability field, it's definitely a healthy interdependence. We all need each other all the time.
Yeah, that's great. And I think the freedom that some of you are now, most of you are now able to enjoy, and steal that time, or be guilt-free about going and finding that personal space for yourself, is a result to a large extent of this interdependency that you all have created, right? Otherwise, it would have been quite impossible if I was to constantly live with the belief that, oh, I have to do everything myself, and I have to be this independent person, and my children also have to be totally independent. I think none of us, neither our children nor you guys, would have been able to find that freedom to express your own personal selves in that sense. So yeah, I think that's a very important point. And somebody on Facebook, Geeta Souza, has resonated with these thoughts. that we just shared. So thank you, Geeta, first of all, for listening and watching this live and commenting on it. So just want to add, Shubhangi, about that we are all temporarily able bodies. I just read last Sunday, there was a whole article on this lady from Bangalore. She was a maths teacher all her life. And when she turned around 55 or so, she started showing symptoms of dementia. And somebody who was teaching maths cannot recognize numbers anymore. Um, so uh, so that's how life can be sometimes. So from being a totally independent person in that sense, she's now forgotten, actually. She's forgetting everything that was her life, which is, maths and numbers and things like that. A very touching story. And it was in Indian Express feature section, which is the I. So I really felt very touched by that, and suddenly this whole thing about being temporary able bodies like resonated very deeply with me. So there's no pride in being this whole thing that your children should become independent, your children should become independent. Like all of us who are so independent can become dependent in a jiffy. So yeah, thank you so much. I think my last request, it's not a question, request to each of you would be that before we close this session, uh, do you have any message for the special moms out there uh, after today's session? Yes, Shubhada.
Well, I can just say my experience, saying that just hang on and enjoy the journey. Just don't think about what is going to happen or where I have to reach. Every day you just enjoy the journey, see what is happening, and end of the day you think, be grateful that yes, I have done this enough today, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Instead of beating yourself off, ki kya kiya, kuch nahi kiya. I said, don't do that. There will be days some when you haven't done anything. There's a gone everything ulta pulta. So it's okay. That is also learning, and that is okay. So we have to constantly tell ourselves it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
And we are doing enough. We are doing enough. And we are, as mothers, we can never not do enough. We are doing enough. So just enjoy
Yeah.
the journey. Our children are beautiful and they give us the strength, and we are privileged to have them. And so that's it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Beautiful message.
Yeah.
Yes, Josna. Josna.
Okay, Jyotsna.
Pratima, you share.
No,
Okay.
say, I would just say, still that 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that time every day, don't feel bad. Just be yourself, just be mindful. And then you will be able to give more to your kids and your family. So that is important. Me time is important. But just steal that some time and don't feel guilty. That is the message I want to give.
And if you feel guilty about feeling guilty, come to me. I'll tell you what to do. If feeling guilty about not feeling
Not
guilty,
feeling.
I'll tell you what to do. Yes, Josna.
Okay, I tell this to the moms who I support because I often tell them that these are the three things that I wanted to be told when I first started the journey. And I think it's that baggage of being a special mom can be heavy, so strongly identified. So it's something that I was very strongly identified with the, that label, being a special mom. So it became quite a burden to carry. So don't forget you're an individual of your own with your own needs at any given point in time, rather than wait till you reach your mid-40s. And I think the other thing struck me, because this happened with my daughter as well, learning to view the world through my child's eyes. I forgot. I was so worried about the disability as a mother, but my child wasn't. But the minute I sat down, paused, and I looked at the world through her eyes, there was so much of being present, so much of joy, such non-conditioning. And I think I learned that lesson very late. So I always tell the newly diagnosed moms, please get there quickly, as fast as possible.
Yeah.
They may not get it, but they would
Yeah.
eventually. And the third thing is to celebrate the small wins. I never did.
Mm.
For me, it was one surgery after the other, twice a day, 6 days a week of therapy. I had no bandwidth to celebrate even the smallest of wins. And this why I shared is because many parents have got back to me and said that they've kind of written it down. It helps. It helps. And I think that is where even that healthy interdependence comes in, where you're able to share these nuggets, not from a space of, oh, I know it all, or I'm kind of, somewhere higher or more superior. But I think it really, really helped many moms. So that was the message. Yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful. Yeah. Yes, Shubhangi.
Yeah, okay, so my takeaways are a little more prosaic. So know your rights, know your child's rights,
Hmm.
keep yourself up to date with whatever is happening in the sphere of law and policy. Very often, we just don't do that. And that's very, very important. And to just take what Jyotsna said, enjoy, looking at the world from your child's perspective. I have learned so much from myself. I cannot quantify it. It's just
Yeah.
that I just learned so much about basically being a good human being, I think.
Yeah. We'll have our next session can be about this, looking at the world through the eyes of the disabled child. Yes. I already have the idea. Okay, Shraddha, yes.
Well, very small things, simple things. I would say, just start saying no to the perfectionist which is there in you. Your child is not perfect, and so are you. So just accept the way the child is. Uh, the day you accept the fact that he is bound to be like this, and you go out, you'll be at peace. Because if you don't accept, then there's that confusion that comes in your mind. Oh my God, I'm going out and people are staring at me and my kid. But the day you accept it, life becomes very simple and very easy, and it's very happy, a contented one. uh, Prioritize your work. That's what I do. If there's a pile of utensils lying in my kitchen, and I'm watching something which is something that I'm liking, I'll finish that first and then go and finish off my home household chores. Because for me, this is what is making me happy. I'll do this first and then go back to the BAU activities that I'm supposed to do as a parent or as a person who's running the household. So just take life as it comes. I live one day at a time. So that's the motto of my life. I don't think I'm not very futuristic what will happen in future. Whatever happens, and there's a destiny that everyone comes around. You can't fight much with that. Just keep on doing your work, and I think God is there. He has an eye on you, and that's why you're surviving, living. Be happy, and things would be fine.
Thank you, Shraddha. So, Pratima, do we ask if there are any questions, or I think we could end the session now? What would you?
Yeah, I think there are no questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see two people who have loved listening to the session, Aswati and Sumi. I know them very closely. So, so Pratima, just one last thing for you to say, because this is something that you really initiated, and Josna, both of you. So like a ending note, going forward, kind of a note or something that you would like to add before I kind of close the session.
So it is very difficult to see ourselves from the lens of ourselves. It's what this discussion was about. No, like we wanted to see it ourselves, but we can't differentiate it. The kids are always there, whatever we are saying. तो ये सब मतलब सब मॉम्स का वही होता है कि हम बच्चों से अलग होके सोचना इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट सो मे बी नेक्स्ट टॉपिक वी विल हैव something on this also. Today's also was about mom, but yeah, we will have some topic related, and I would request the young children, moms, parents, maybe if they can join, they can also suggest us some topic that they would like to listen to. because there is experience here. We are like, my son is 21, Jyotsna's daughter 22, 16, 24, 30. So that is the experience we all have. So maybe they can also suggest some topic, and we can take it forward maybe once in a month or like that.
Yeah.
Jyotsna,
Okay,
I would like
thanks.
to add.
Jyotsna, you want to add something on those lines?
I just wanted to say that we've kickstarted this today, I think, in this kind of a space. So let's just keep co-creating these spaces together. It becomes enriching, with more, I think, inputs. We are older moms, but there's so much, I think so many parents out there who would love to perhaps contribute, participate, ask, like Pratima said, suggest topics that would resonate maybe at a different level, more helpful for them for their future as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Great, great. So I want to thank all of you for inviting me to moderate this session. I felt very included, loved, cherished for that. And I really had a good time in this session, laughing with you all and, little bit moderating you all to the questions and evoking the responses. And I cannot tell you, at the end of it, I feel so happy, so light, and I feel I've made friends, and feels really nice. And all of you are so cheerful and so optimistic and positive, and yet so aware of the challenges. But I love the fact that you all are still kind of stealing that time for yourself and finding spaces and moments to nourish your own self, and to see that self nourishment is probably the most important contribution that one can make to one's family and children. So it's a very big takeaway. So thank you, all of you. I hope the rest of the evening goes fun and musty for everybody, those who are here on the session and those who are listening live. And we'll come back to you all with next one slowly and steadily. So thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.